Hey guys, happy Thursday. It is January 13th, which means we are almost halfway through this month and starting to kind of pick up slowly. But I promise you February is not going to disappoint. So hopefully you guys have been getting your list together, preparing, getting ready, kind of have a plan of action for the next 5 months because the next 5 months are when you can really get some legs underneath of your business and see some momentum happen. Um, I mean, like I've stated before, we've had people, you know, just in that period of time, February through April, May, June-ish, um, promote 3 or 4 times or double, triple, quadruple their paychecks, their weekly checks. So, exciting times are coming. And I thought there is no better training Zoom for tonight than how the heck to close people. What do we say? How do we say it? How do we do it? In the chat, let me know how many of you guys are scared. How many of you guys hate the part where they're like, "How much is it?" Or hate it when you've got somebody in your grasp and they start asking questions and then they just go quiet. And you're like, "Oh, what the heck happened? I thought they were interested." Or maybe you see people and they are totally commenting on your posts and your stories, but you don't know how to approach them because they're not getting in your inbox. Well, we're going to try to help you take care of all of those things tonight, as much as we can in the next hour. So hopefully you have a pen handy, paper handy. I'm pulling Stacee in because this is one of our favorite things to do. Like literally, when I tell you, one of the best closers on this team is Stacee. I would definitely say she's probably top 5 on our team when it comes to closing. So she's a great person to have on tonight. And then I'm also going to ask other leaders that have joined us if they have any tips to add at the end. So you're not going to want to miss anything. And you probably are definitely going to want to write some things down just so that you guys have kind of a little plan of how you can take people from level 1 to level 10, from people from, "Hey, what is this?" to, "Okay, where do I sign?" Like, let's get the party started. So I am so excited. Stacee, are you on with me?
I am.
What's up, Stace? This is our favorite. We love this. This is like our jam. Um, I have been doing this for almost 13 years. And I did not start out a good closer. I was the spammiest, most ridiculous, I mean, I had to learn as I went. I learned from my mistakes. I saw what pushed people away. I saw what didn't work. And eventually I learned it. You, on the other hand, you had sales experience. You and Derek both actually did doing other things, like, some over the phone sales type of things. So you kind of had that I don't know. I think you have an outlook that most people don't have, where most people come into this business and they're like, "I don't want to be a salesperson." You're always like, "We're salespeople. That's what we do." And it is what we do. Like, everybody's selling something. Like, I don't care if you work for McDonald's or you work for a company somewhere, even if you sit behind a desk and do something completely different, at the end of the day, we're all selling something, right? Whether it's, even being a manager and trying to talk employees into doing something, we're selling ourselves, right? We're selling, like, how can we get people to do what we want them to do? So I'm super excited because I think between the both of us tonight, and then, any leaders that are on there that ever want to chime in, we're going to be able to cover a lot of this because I know that was my biggest thing when I first started was, "Oh crap, somebody's in my inbox. They're interested. I don't want to screw this up." Like, that feeling where, "Oh shit, I'm going to screw this up." And then when you kind of go through the process, I remember in the beginning, I was a total thrower upper. Like, I threw up on everybody. Like, they'd be like, "What is that?" They would ask one question and I'd start talking about last year at a party I went to. And like, I was going into my life story where I was born. Like, they didn't ask that. I would go, oh yeah, and these are the ingredients, and there's like all the prices. And I mean, an hour later, people were so lost because I was so excited. And I wanted to know all those things, but I didn't realize in the beginning that other people don't want to know all that stuff. Like, they want their basic question answered. And then it's you. I love how you put it. You are giving people the illusion of control. You're making other people think they're the one in control of how they're going to order. They're the one in control, that it's going to be their idea to buy it. But really, we are the ones controlling the entire thing. We're just giving people that illusion of control. And, I know a lot of people, we've heard this before. You've heard it before. So have I. Isn't that like shady, or don't you feel scummy, or don't you like, I don't want to be that kind of person. Listen, we thrive, we feel amazing. And in order to get other people to thrive and feel amazing and live their best lives, you have to know how to sell this. You have to know the words to say and how to say them. So I was kind of going to hand it over to you first and just kind of get your take on, I don't know. Where should we start?
Well, I think first things first, like one of the biggest things I feel like in this is one of my favorite Zooms to do with Lise because we just jive together really well with this. I think the biggest thing from the first, from Boo, you guys, is understanding if you are a strong closer. If you are not a strong closer, there's nothing to be ashamed of. If you have difficulty closing people, that's okay. There's not one person on this team that's good at everything. Like if anybody is feeding you it's just not true. We all have strengths and non-strengths that we need to work on, right? So if you're not a slam dunk closer, get connected with somebody that is, so that they can help you with wording and three ways and screenshots and all that type of thing, so that you can get people close. Like that's a big, big part of it, is just understanding and knowing, especially if you guys are newer. How many of you guys have been here 6 months or less? Give me a me in the comments. If you've been here less than 6 months and you are not where you want to be yet, utilize the power in community, utilize the power in this team, and understand there are some massive heavy hitters as far as closing goes, which is super awesome. There is a ton of stuff that I suck at, you guys, so much. But
Can I add to that really quick?
Yeah.
Listen, I want to point this out to people because not everybody, I'm going to be honest, before I joined network marketing, I was very good at talking people into things. I have a gift where, dude, if I buy something somewhere and it works for me, I get so excited about it. I tell other people and I got everybody going to buy it. Like that, I've just always been that type of person. There's some of you on here that you're not that person. Maybe you have a really monotone voice. You don't get super excited about things. It's just not in your personality. Listen, that's okay. Just like Stacey said, we all have things that we're not strong at. And for a lot of people, what I've noticed is when, let's say they get a lot of people interested, I'll have them saying, Lisa, I get people interested all the time, but I can't close any of them. Like no one is signing with me. I will absolutely bet my life on the fact that you're screwing it up and you need to use someone else. And it's sometimes things we can learn by listening to someone else do it for us, but it's also sometimes something we're never going to be good at. And guess what? Who the hell cares? If your strength is getting people interested, but not the closing part, that's what we're all here for, to utilize each other for our strengths and, forgive our weaknesses. But let me tell you what, I have watched people over 13 years suck at things and be brilliant at them now. So do not think that you are a lost cause, that you can't get good at other things. I mean, to this day, I suck at any kind of organization. Like it's really bad. However, I have gotten so much better than when I started. I found ways that work for me to be organized. Now, Stacey would come to my house and she'd freaking freak. Like to her, it would be the most disorganized thing on planet Earth. But to me, it is something that has worked. So, we're all here to learn and grow. And at the end of the day, we're just not going to be good at everything. And end of story. Even if we practice and try our hardest, we might just not be, hi, yeah, the product's awesome. Yeah, you should buy it. I don't know. I mean, if that's your voice, let me tell you what, nobody's gonna buy from you. They're gonna think this is horrible. Um, but that doesn't mean you can't be successful at network marketing.
I think what I was going to say too, like to add to that, you guys, honestly, like that's the biggest thing. Like I saw a couple of people like Danny saying like, I know my strengths and weaknesses and I just get help. And, layered leadership from Crystal, like those things. Okay. Like I feel like I'm a monotone, then you know those things and you just move on. So when you're having conversations with people, right? So many of us kind of pussyfoot around, like that's not a bad word, guys. Like that's just like we pussyfoot around conversations with people, right? We're like, oh my gosh, I don't know, like they're interested. I'm scared to bring up the cost and things like that. Then don't let somebody else help you do that, right? If that is something that you are fearful about, you need to work on that and strengthen that. And so much of it is just language. It's the power of the language that you choose, the words that you choose. And I know like Lisa and I always kind of get stuck when we get started with this because it's always like, where do we start? But when you're talking to a customer and they're like, hey, listen, I saw what you have. What is it? And you're like, oh, what do I say? And then they're interested. And then you tell them the price and you lose people at the price and they ghost you or they stop responding. Give me a 1 in the comments if you guys have ever had that happen, right? The biggest thing is understanding that confidence and the way that you word things is life in this business, right? It's in this business, the way that you word it. And I've learned from so many people that have gone way long before me, you guys. Yes, I've been doing sales since I like was knee high to a grasshopper. But there's a people element here too, right? And understanding that control factor in the situation, the conversation is so incredibly important. There's a huge difference. If somebody says to me, okay, well, that sounds good. How much is it? But how much is it? If I respond and I'm like, well, so if you get the 3 steps, like it's $174. And I know that seems like a lot, but you'd be spending like at least $5 a day on coffee and you're gonna love it. And I really think that this would be good for you. And what do you think?
You already done lost me.
There's a huge difference between like, okay, literally I take everything from the moment I start a conversation with somebody, I make the whole conversation about them. Everything, every ounce of every single second. Somebody writes me, they vote on a poll, I talk to them in a story, they comment on my page. I literally write them, I'm like, all right, girl, what do you need? Talk to me, pick my brain. And people automatically are taken aback, like, wait a minute, did she just say that she cares about me? I'm like, talk to me. What are your goals? Talk to me. What do you want to do? And they say, well, I need to lose 25 pounds. Awesome. Talk to me about your water intake. Talk to me about your typical daily diet. Talk to me about your activity level. Immediately, I'm turning the conversation back about them and I'm making them understand that I care about their wins, their wants, interests, and needs. Immediately, I take that like those fighting gloves off and they know that I care. I don't want you guys, I don't want to sell $350 worth of products that are not going to fit for somebody's needs. It's just silly. They're never going to order again. They're going to be mad. I'm not going to put somebody on the burn experience with sculpt and balance and heat and all that if there's somebody that can't even commit to drinking 3 bottles of water a day. It's just silly. So I need to commit in the beginning, like listen to what they say, and then when they do come back and things like that, I'm very honest with people. They tell me like, I suck at water. I drink Pepsi all day long. And I'm like, okay, well, girl, if you want results with this, you're going to have to drink water. We're going to have to eliminate that Pepsi. If you want to be able, like, I have no problem being confident that way. And then when you go to closing, I just let them know, here's like, I literally tell them, I'm like, here's what we're going to do. Your very best option is going to be, and I'll just like insert like TAC experience. It is our most powerful DFT. You're going to absolutely love it. It's going to help with the energy. You need the mood elevation. You need all of those things that come with it. You get an extra box of lifestyle mixes right now, and we're going to toss in the sculpt because you're working out every single day like a mad person. That's how you're going to get the very best results. Normally, that's insert number. Normally you would pay $262 for that combo. But right now, with my discount and the promo that I have going on, you're only going to be paying $213, whatever it is. I always high-low them. Always, always, always. And I always start high. Because you guys, if you're like, the thing is, you can't pussyfoot. That's it. You can't go in and just assume if money is tight for you, you can't assume it's tight for everybody. So I can't just automatically go in with every single person and say, well, I think, why don't we just start with the heat? Because then where do you go? There's nowhere to go. If they have goals, you have to have a place to start, right? So I just throw it out there. This is the very best. This is what we can do. And people are like, oh, okay, well, maybe I need to think about it. I'm like, listen, if for whatever reason that doesn't fit your budget, I have a couple other programs that we can go with. You let me know if you want to talk to me about your budget, and then we kind of go from there. But I don't discuss budget at all in the beginning,
Yeah,
ever.
I was just gonna say, the second, I don't care who you are on here. I don't care what the conversation is. The second someone is in your inbox, even if their first question is, how much is it? You don't answer that question. You don't answer it. You give them the illusion of control by saying, well, first off, before we get into that, tell me what you're looking for. Just like Stacey said, I don't care what it is. And if you're trying to get in someone's inbox, let's say you saw Sally Sue yesterday, like 2 of your Thrive posts and 3 of your Thrive stories. And you know Sally Sue, you're kind of like, man, I keep seeing her look at my stuff. Just like Stacey said, hey girl, I see you all over my posts. Tell me what you're looking for. Let's just talk about it. Like, it's that simple, you guys. Never answer the question of how much is this? Like, if you do, I promise you they are going to be right out. They're out. Like, unless they're rolling in dough somewhere, they're out. It's very few people that you're going to find that go, okay, yeah, sign me up. Like, it just doesn't work like that. Take away all of that and let's let them talk, like Stacey said. And then I do it a tiny bit different. I do the same thing Stacey does as far as giving them options. I want to hear everything they're looking for. Then I do what Stacey does, and I put the best possible package together for them to get the results they're looking for. And if that means $500, then it means $500. Okay. I don't care. I go, okay, they're going to need scalp. They need rest. They're definitely going to need the detox. Start with that. Then they're going to want to do like, and then I'll go, okay, so I'm going to customize a package for you to fit exactly what you need. So you're going to get the results you're looking for. And that package, it comes with this. This is how you're going to start. This is what you're going to take, blah, 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 blah. I'm so excited for you. Let me go ahead and pop you over my website and let's get this ordered so you can start seeing results next week. At that point, they either go, okay, what's your website? They do that. They don't even care about the cost sometimes. Or they'll say, oh, well, how much is it? And I'll go, oh my gosh, girl, you're going to die when you hear how inexpensive this is. And then I always go into a little bit. And remember wording, what Stacey said, every word that comes out of your mouth means something. So the second you go, well, it's a little expensive, but, or I thought it was a little pricey, or as soon as you stumble and make them feel like you think it's expensive, they will too. So I'm confident. I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, you're going to die when you hear how cheap it is. You are going to die. Most people crap their pants when I tell them, because prior to this, I was taking like 9 supplements a day and I was spending like $400 or $500 a month every single month to do that. And I saw no results. With this, people feel something usually within the first 3 days they take it. So what's cool is that not only are you going to think it's working, you're going to know it's working because you actually feel your body doing something. So basically it's normally, $400 and some dollars. But right now with my discount, and you guys, everyone here has a discount. Anybody that orders on auto ship gets a free box of shakes and gets a 20% discount from the normal price. So what I do is I tell them the price before that 20% discount. I say, it's $492, but with my discount today, 20% off, and the free shipping I'm throwing in, or whatever, maybe it's you order all that and I'm going to send you 2 weeks of rest. It could be anything. It's only going to be $392. You're going to get 100 off today or whatever. I mean, you can make it big, and then they are going to come back with, oh, maybe I got to talk to my husband, or I wasn't planning on spending that much money. A lot of times they go, okay, let's do this. I mean, you're just making the assumption that they're not going to say yes because you think it's expensive. They might not. You don't know that. You're making assumptions for other people and you don't know what they're willing to do to look better, feel better, get their health back. You know, if you're telling them this is going to work for you, I've seen it work for several other people. I know exactly what to put together. They are going to believe you. You are the expert. They're believing everything that you tell them, and they're already going into it excited. So at that point, if they say to me, "Oh, that's too expensive," then I'm like, "Girl, no problem. Totally get it. I have totally been there. What is your budget?" When you messaged me, what in your mind were you thinking was something you're able to spend to feel better and look better than you felt in years? And then I wait for that number to come back. And then whatever number they come back with, I'm like, "Oh, we can definitely start at least with the detox in your sleep." Whatever. At least I want to tackle a couple of these things. And then I customize the package that's going to fit that. One of my favorite things that Stacey says that always cracks me up is no one that messaged you thought this was free. Not one person thinks it's free. Nobody thinks anything's free. Oh, sorry, my phone went off. If they're trying to get it from you for free, they're pulling your leg, right? And if somebody's not willing to pay anything, if they give you the whole, "Well, I have no money right now, I'm totally broke." Girlfriend, I totally get it, no problem. When do you get paid? I can touch back with you then. And I write it on my calendar. Or when do you think you'll be ready? And then I'm on to the next. I don't message Stacey and go, "Stacey, hey, there's this girl in my inbox and she's telling me she has no money. What could I do?" Stacey's gonna tell me, move the heck on, Lisa. Sorry. She's gonna say, "Move the heck on." That's what Stacey says behind the scenes. She never uses the F bomb. Um, she's gonna say, "Move the heck on, Lisa. Girl's not ready yet. Touch base in a month." Like, I don't try to figure out how to talk someone into it. If I've got to talk you into it, you are not ready, and you're probably not even gonna do it right.
I have a question. I'm new. I just started today. My name's Rebekah. Hi.
Hi,
I have a
Rebecca.
question though. So like when you say ask them like, well, what's your budget? What were you planning on spending? Like, what is an absolute, like, what do you all feel like isn't just a minimum to like really be able to even get them started? I'm so new to it that I'm not even, I literally started
Well,
today, so I wouldn't even
right,
know
right.
if they said $40, like, am I even gonna
Yeah.
be able to help them?
Yeah, we have products for $40. I mean, you can get somebody
Okay.
started on balance. You could get for $40 started on the detox. Once they see themselves lose 8 to 10 pounds on the detox, they're going to come back and be ready and willing to pay for the experience. So we have plenty of products, and you can even say, "You know what? I'm just getting started. Let me talk to my friend who got me started. She's been doing this a lot longer." Actually, that's a great time to even put somebody in a three-way message. You want to talk about, should we jump into that, Stace?
Yeah, I think so. This is the super cool thing. Number one, like Rebekah, it's awesome. Day one, you're on here. Kudos to you.
Yes.
Seriously, like shoot,
Thank you.
like send me your address and if I can get it to you, if you're like not in some crazy place, I will send you a personal development book because that is awesome. If everybody jumped on
Um,
a team Zoom on day one, girl, you're going to be amazing. You unmuted, you asked a question. I'm so stinking proud of you. But
Thank you.
don't stress out about that. That is why your uplines are there. They will definitely help you as far as that type of thing goes. There's a million different ways that you can go. And pulling together a few things that other people said that I've got down too. You guys, at the end of the day, if somebody is interested and somebody comments on your stuff or, you've talked to them about the products, I always teach my team, people are interested until they're dead or they move to the moon, right? If we have issues in life that we want to fix for, we're going to be interested forever. So assume people are always interested once they've told you that they are, unless they specifically say, no, thanks, leave me alone, I'm done, right? Typically, the first reason that people give you is not the true objection. And that is a huge part of this business, you guys. Really learning that and utilizing that is huge. So it goes along with your wins. And I think like this is really good for people to learn. Like a lot of times people are really embarrassed to tell you the real reason, right? We just automatically assume it's got to be money. Well, I'm gonna have to think about it. So you assume, oh, it's money, it's financial. So like, well, it's a little bit more than I wanted to spend. I stop there and I'll say, okay, so let's say these products were completely free. What else is holding you back? This is like the bottom line in this business, you guys. Let's say the products were free. What else is holding you back? What else is stopping you from starting? Well, I've tried so many other things in the past and nothing's ever really worked for me. Okay, so now we know that it's free. Like if it were free and it's going to work, what else stops you? And eventually you're going to get with somebody 3-4 layers deep and they're going to say, my husband doesn't want me spending money on this stuff because I let it sit on my counter. That's the real objection, right? So getting to that point with people, it's so huge because the automatic response, and you guys, I mean, I'd be lying if I said that when people are in my inbox, like literally, I'll just say, like, if I have a makeup girl in my inbox today that's like, oh my gosh, I need to sell 3 mascaras tonight. Will you be my girl? Right? I've never talked to her before in my life. The first thing that I'm going to say is, I really can't spend money on that right now. Do you know why? Because 99.9% of people that do network marketing will stop there. They'll stop. She doesn't have money. I'm on to the next. Rather than actually understand like, oh my gosh, girl, okay, well, do you love the mascara you're using now? Yada, yada, because you're using it for future too, right? The other thing I wrote down was, obviously when you're talking about like people that are not like, I would not say move the F on publicly. But I will say like, you're looking for people that are ready now. That's your whole job. You're literally hunting and pecking and looking for the people that are ready now. That is your job. It's law of averages. You're knocking on doors all day long. And the rest of the people go on a follow-up list. Most people are going to go on a follow-up list, you guys. Most of them are. That's just reality. That's our job. It's our job to follow up. So understand that that's part of it too. And then the other thing is what I love and what is so powerful for me. If I get down to the nitty gritty and it really is just financial, I always will take part of whatever budget they told me and add in a mini experience if they can't afford the full experience. So let's say somebody, needs help with their midsection. They're having a hard time with bloating. They want, a little bit of a kickoff to see some sort of results. They're working out every day. They're good with this, that, the other, food and water and activity. And I'm like, let's do the fire combo. Let's take Sculpt and Balance. Let's put that together. It's going to be awesome. And they tell me that they can afford $95, $100. I'm going to tell them, awesome. We're going to do that fire combo, the Balance and the Sculpt, and then I'm going to get you a 3-day mini in your hands. Because what you're doing then is it's still within their budget. Part of it's going directly in your pocket, and they're getting their hands on 3 days of the products, the 3 steps. Not everybody can start with the 3 steps, and that's okay. But once you get them loving other products and a sample in their hands, it is life-changing. Every single one of my customers, no matter what they order, gets some sort of something in the mail from me. Whether it's a thank you card or a sample pack when they order the experience, or a different type of DFT or a sample of cafe, whatever it is, because I'm going to turn them on to something else. So don't discount people from the Thrive experience if they can't afford $160 a month right now. If that's what it really comes down to, get them started somewhere and add part of their budget into getting a mini in their hands. Even if it's a 2-day mini, you guys, my team rocked out 2-day minis this weekend. Like that was something that I was doing as a promo, and they rocked out 2-day minis. And it lets people touch, taste, feel, and experience the products if they didn't see the value yet in their 3 steps, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, all of that makes sense. All of it. And I think the other part of that too is, confidence. You said it in the beginning. Every word has to be confident. So if you are new and not confident yet, this is why your upline or other people come in handy. I mean, 3 ways really do seal the deal for people. Like if you aren't that spicy, confident personality that's excited yet, then as soon as you get that in your inbox, it's a simple thing of, hey, I'm just getting kind of my feet wet here, and I don't want to miss anything or not tell you the right thing. So I'm going to throw us in a three-way message really quick with my friend Lisa, has been doing this longer than me. And I don't care if you've been doing this a year. You can still say that. It's okay. It's not, people are going to be fine with the fact that you want to get them the right answers and the help that they're looking for. So, I might go into asking them a bunch of questions about themselves first, and then do the three-way message when it comes to what do I get them. But honestly, if you're new, I would do the three-way message right away so that you're not trying to like say, okay, they said this, and then they said this, and then they said this. However, there are some of you that I know like to do it on your own. You have that, green personality, or we're like, I want to have the answers. Guess what? Use your upline, send them the message and go, this is what she just said to me. And then Stacee's going to go, okay, say this back. And then, okay, she just said this. And then Stacee's going to go, okay, now say this. Like, it can still be all you if you wanted to. But I think for those people that are new, please don't be afraid or think it's silly to put people in a three-way message. That's what I did in the beginning. I didn't know what was in the products and all the things that other people might know at that point, and how things worked and costs and stuff like that. I automatically just threw them in a message with somebody that knew more than me and said, oh my God, this is my friend, Chas. She's been doing this, for a couple years longer than me, and she has all the answers, girl. I just wanted to introduce you to. She's so sweet. Like, that person doesn't have to do much. They're going to sit there while we kind of, take over that conversation and then ask questions. But I also think there's a piece of the puzzle to signing promoters as well. We get super scared to go, okay, well, there's an 800 pack. How much is it to be a promoter? Well, there's a free option. Yeah. But let's be honest. I've never had anybody sign for free that really did much. Maybe a couple people over the last 5 years. I love that option's there for people. And for somebody that truly wants it, they can get started for absolutely no dollars, $0, and get a paycheck next Tuesday. However, most people that are serious about starting a business need some product. They need to be on the product, to be a product of the product, to share their story that's happening. They also need to have product for samples, or, just to have some on hand. It's just smart to have samples. So I think the other place is, once we get that person that's interested in promoting, how do we talk about these packages? What do you say, Stace?
So this is one of the things, right? Anybody that knows me knows, like, I always teach there's 1,000 ways to the beach. So I might say something that your upline says different, and that's totally okay, because there's 1,000 ways to the beach. I really don't encourage, like, I'll let people know, we just had an opportunity event last night. Like, yes, it is free to join the business, but you want to get your hands on an upgrade pack so that you have products to use for yourself. You have the ability to find out what it does, and you have products to be able to make the 3-day mini experiences. It's incredibly important. And I mean, that kind of just transfers over, you guys. Like, teachability is huge here, right? How many of you guys have at least one person on your team? How many of you guys have at least one person on your team? Give me like a 2 in the chat. If you have at least one person on your team, you will know teachability is, honest to goodness, a really rare trait, right? It's rare. People that want to be teachable, people that ask questions, all that type of thing. I can always tell in the very beginning where I'm going to match energies, right? If I'm teaching you and you're asking me questions, and I'm telling, like, how do you get started? And I'm like, okay, this is what you do. You're going to grab an upgrade pack, then you're going to do the training. We're going to shout you out, yada, yada. And like, if somebody can follow those things, we're gold. But they're going to follow your direction. If you literally, my husband always says this, you guys, right? If you go into like a work from home, moms that want to work from home group, and you just spam a message in there and say, who wants to work from home for free? Okay. You should be able to sign people, right? If you just say, who wants to work from home for free? And you just tell people it's like a free thing and this and that, whatever. Yes, it is free. That is awesome. But you are the expert, right? You're the expert. if people know, like, and trust you, they're going to believe in you. If you've been consistent and they see you doing what you do, I have no problem telling people it is free to join as a promoter. You're going to want to grab your upgrade pack. All you need to do is decide which one, 200, 400, 800. You know, it's completely up to you, whatever you're most comfortable with. Most people go with the 400 pack because then they have products to use themselves and products to make for minis. Plus they're going to get the mail outs, yada, yada. I don't even blink. I don't even blink. Literally, I don't even blink. And the reason that people then get their upgrade packs without blinking, 400 pack, 800 pack, 200 pack, whatever it is because I didn't make a big deal out of it. You guys, how many of you right now in this moment, for how many of you is $200 a lot of money? Give me a one. $200 is a lot of money. If it's a lot of money for you right now, $200 is always a lot of money for me. So I'm never going to BS you guys. Okay. $200 is a lot of money for me. That's half my electric bill on my cheap months. Okay. $200 is a lot of money. So you have to show value for that $200, $400, $800. You have to show a value. But the other side is, if you are, talking to people that are business minded, even if you're talking to people that are broke as a joke and really truly struggling, I can promise you that they're finding money to get their hair did. They're finding money to go out to the bars, to get a tattoo, to buy a gift, to get their nails done, to do all those things. If you create the curiosity and the excitement and the intrigue with this business, they're going to find $800 to buy an upgrade pack. They're going to find $400. They're going to find $200. It is up to you to create that value. You put the value on your business. You guys, listen, straight up honesty. On everything. I just told the story the other day. I decided to leave my last company the day that they made it $10 to join. Why? There was no value. Anybody and their brother could join the business and get a ton of products that were valued at, 150 times that, or, 15 times that. For me, that didn't make any sense. I'm going to get all these people that have no skin in the game. That was, for me, my turning point. And it took me a couple months to be able to make a decision. But for me, I want to work with people that are committed. I want to work with people that have products on hand, that are teachable, that are trainable, that are going to, put forth the effort and ask the questions and all that type of thing. It's really, really incredibly important to me. So make sure that you're understanding, like, as much as I know it's such a great thing that it's free, but if it's completely free and somebody's never tried the products, they've never had a mini, they don't have products in hand to take pictures, any of those things, how are they going to speak to their next door neighbor about how much they love the products, what they've done for them? How are they going to get minis in hands and all that type of thing? Now, other option is, and Lise, like, I don't know if this is something you do, but I do a lot with my team and my organization to teach people how to pre-sell to get their upgrade packs. And I work with them hard, like hard. I had a gal last week, and actually I should find out if she was on here. I had a girl last week, the beginning of the week, wrote me and said, hang on, I'm going to see if she's on right now. She wrote me and, like, straight up just said, hey, Stacee, can I borrow $50? Well, anybody that knows me kind of knows my personal rule with lending money, right? I said, Derek and I have a very, very strict, I don't lend cash, period, bottom line, end of story. If somebody is in need, I will buy them groceries, I will pay a bill, I will do all those things, but we don't loan money. Like, it's just our rule. And she's like, no, I get it. And I was like, but she's been a potential promoter for like 2.5 years, you guys. She tried the product, she loved the product, she wants to do it. She just was lacking confidence. And I was like, but if you say go with this, I'll help you pre-sell to get an upgrade pack. I'll help you start making money from home. You guys, this gal, that was Tuesday. Friday, got a small paycheck. Couldn't grab an upgrade pack. You know what we did? We got a 14-day customer pack and upgraded her to a promoter. She got enough products on hand that she could take some pictures with, some selfies with, all that type of thing. And then I worked with her hardcore about getting minis in hands. I think she sold 6 or 7 minis now. And she has, like, I don't know, 25 potential customers and potential promoters at this point in time. She's posting, she's never posted in stories before. Like, she's hungry. She's showing up to Zoom. She's doing all the things. You can tell who to match efforts with in this business, you guys. And less like a week and a half ago, she didn't know what to do. Now she's going to get a paycheck. You know what I mean? Like there's just so many ways. Don't ever feel like what you have your hands on isn't worth gold, because it is. It changes lives. Look at the Zoom right now. How many people on the Zoom have had their lives changed? Whether you make 50 bucks a week or 5 bills, 5 mil, I don't care. So many of us have had our lives changed, and it does take some effort, right? It does.
You know, I want to add that if you are new, I mean, first of all, kudos for being on tonight, but just know that all of this that we're talking about takes time. Like are there those very few people that come in, maybe they've had previous experience, or maybe they just have the biggest network on earth and they blow it up? Yeah, very few and far between. Most people, it's gonna take time for friends and family to even get on board. That is normal. And that's what people need to understand is you are not behind in any way. Businesses take time to grow. And that's why I'm always preaching that be on that 5 to 7 year plan, because that first year you might not earn money. It might just be you getting your feet wet for what you're comfortable stepping out of your comfort zone to do and to learn. But I will say that, all the stuff that Stacee and I are talking about and the confidence we have when we close someone, that wasn't there in the beginning. That came from stumbling over our words and figuring out what worked for us. And, now we teach it because we've found that it works for most people. But I even 13 years of closing, I got a no today. I did everything I just told you guys the way I always do it. And at the end, she just wasn't ready. It wasn't going to matter how perfect I did it. One of my favorite sayings is you can't say the wrong thing to the right person and the right thing to the wrong one. You can't. Either someone's going to be ready or they're not. So don't be scared, because I think the biggest mistake people make is they sit around, especially if they're new, and they don't do anything because they think they don't know enough yet. Oh, I don't know what's in the products. I haven't been on them long enough. I don't have that good of a story. I don't know, this or that. And what if they ask me something? No. Every person I know that makes money with this company, they just jumped in. And when somebody said, "Hey, what is that?" They would go, "I don't know yet." Let me ask somebody else. Let me get some help. And you can't be afraid to use support from other people. You just can't. You're in business for yourself, but you are not in business by yourself with this company. If you are feeling alone, that is all on you, because you have help. You just have to reach out and ask for it. And I promise you, there's not an upline that I know of that works their business that is going to go, "Nope, I don't want to help you." They want you to succeed so they succeed. That's how this business works, is every single person, for them to get to where they want to go, they have to help everyone they sign get to where they want to go, right? And some of those people are going to come along for the ride, and some are going to quit in a day, right? The second they get a no. But all of those things are things that we went through. I mean, thousands of no's I've gotten over the last 13 years, thousands, way more than yeses. But it only took the couple right yeses for me to be a millionaire in this company. It didn't take 5 billion. I'd say there's maybe, a couple right yeses that I signed, and then my downline, other people signed some right yeses. It wasn't even me, So just know that the wait is worth it, but practice makes perfect, and pushing past those fears every day, little by little, is the key. And I know I've had, actually, when I started, there were a couple people mad at me because I didn't tell them about the 800 pack. Because with the 800 pack, if you guys are not aware, somebody will get paid as a 200K for 4 months, right? We still have that going on right now when they're new, or no? Was that a thing? Yes, I thought so. Okay. I didn't think they took that away. So that, and they get way more percentage off things and way more product credit things. Like they get more stuff. So don't just think, oh, 800, there's no way. Do you guys know there's network marketing businesses out there that cost $5,000 to start? $5,000 to start a business. We are pretty cheap compared to a lot of the companies out there. But I always say, you know, I kind of go into the how much are the kits? How much is it to start as a promoter the same way I do a customer, which is, oh my gosh, I was so shocked to hear how cheap it was to get started as a promoter, because I actually looked into starting an actual business before and it was going to cost me like 300 grand. So I was like, what the heck, when they told me I could start anywhere from $200 to $800. I was like, sweet. And then I do what Stacee does. I put value on that product and talk about how they can get their money back. How by earning those VIP bonuses is going to put the money right back in their product. How by selling products could put the money right back in their pocket, easing their mind that there is a way to get that money right back if they want to work for it, right? I mean, it's not going to happen if they don't work. And I tell them that. Look, if you don't think you know more than a couple people that need to feel better, look better, lose weight, sleep better, get rid of aches and discomforts, if you don't think you know more than two, then we probably should start you as a customer. I don't want to push anybody into being a promoter when they're not ready. And it makes no sense to do that. You want people to sign when they're ready to work, when they're like, yeah, I want to go after this. Let's do it. You know, when they're ready to put you in messages with people, that means they're ready. Like in my book, you've already, you know, let's start a list. Let's get together. Let's talk about who you know and what they might need. If they're not ready to do that, then they're probably most likely not ready to be a promoter, and they start as a customer. And let me tell you what, some of the best promoters I have under me started as customers. They got so passionate about the product and what the product was doing for them that it was a natural progression to want to be a promoter. So, you know, all the stuff that we're talking about tonight, there's a book I always talk about. It's called Exactly What to Say. You guys can get it on Amazon. It's a super thin book that you can literally read in an hour, but it's something I refer to still right now in conversations. And this book gives you little segues into how to make conversations go your way, pretty much. And it's called Exactly What to Say, the magic words and phrases, I think. It's awesome. It's awesome. One of the things I always have my new people get.
Lisa, I have a question about that. Like when you're saying like people not wanting to work. So what happens when you get somebody that says they want to promote and they say they want to do it and buy the package, and you're already trying to like give them tips from the beginning to set them up for success, and they're not doing it, and you don't just want to be rude and straight up say, I don't really think you're ready to hit the promoter button and do this. You just say,
Oh, I say that.
okay.
Look, I have certain things I do in order for you to be a promoter under me. Like, look, this is my business and I want to sign serious people. I'm going to make sure that you're ready. And so I have what I call qualifiers. And one of my qualifiers to qualify somebody is, when are you free to get on about a 30-minute Zoom with me or FaceTime, so we can go over everything before you get started? If they say not for 2 weeks, I don't know, ghost me, you're not ready. If you can't do that, you're not going to be serious about nothing else. And then once I get them on that Zoom, it's grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. Let's go through the products, who you know that we can approach right away. Like we already have a game plan going in, and I put their mind at ease, answer all their questions. If they can't do that, then I just say, hey girl, you know, I know you said you wanted to sign as a promoter, but we just haven't been able to connect. I don't think right now is probably the right time for you. If you're super busy and can't connect for 30 minutes, I would hate to throw you in a business that you need to put time into to grab these VIP bonuses. So why don't we get you started as a customer? That way you can build your story and then switch you over when you have more time. It's just, it's that simple. I mean, everybody's different. There's some people on here that'll sign anybody and they don't really care whether they work or not. That's up to you, you know? And dude, I could do everything right. I could make sure they fit all my qualifications. They get on the Zoom, we make a list, they buy the kit, and there's still people that after 3 days won't get back with me, you know, and there's nothing you can do about that. The only thing you can do is continue to touch base with that person once a week and say, I'm here if you need me. I'd love to get you started. Hey, and there's not one person that I've ever signed that I've ever forgotten about. It's funny because at the beginning of the year, I sent out messages to people that started with me 3 years ago and never did anything. And I said, hey girl, I know you got started and life happened, but if you're ready to jump back in, I'm ready to help. This year's going to be crazy. And I had a couple people go, I'm ready. You never know. It's all about timing for people. So don't ever give up on anybody, but you can't force somebody to work. So you can't sit around wondering, how do I get this person to work? You just go to the next, you know what I mean? And if there are no next right now, then that's pretty good indication you need to do more, friend requesting, more building relationships, more stuff like that. Because I love what Stacee does when she sees somebody in her stories and on her timeline, like any Thrive posts. Hey girl, I saw you on my post. What do you need? Or what you looking at, or were you interested? Like, it's okay to do that. Like, it's always a no if you don't ask. It's automatically a no if you never take that step forward to inquire. Most people are scared to message you. I mean, I've actually messaged people. For instance, today, a girl that I was friends with when I lived in Ohio, we used to play in a pool league together. She hit the button, right? She's on my Facebook millions of times. No, never likes my Thrive post, but she happened to like my try the detox with me for 10 days. She hit the button. And so I messaged her. She never got in my inbox. And I said, you want to try the detox with me? I saw you hit the button. And she was like, I've been wanting to message you for like a year. She was like, I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. I mean, some people just need you to make that first step too. So I think at the end of the day, today's lesson is practice, assertiveness, confidence, giving people the illusion of control by immediately switching the conversation to them, asking what they're looking for, what their wants and needs are, what do they want to improve with their health inside and out. Let them talk, ask questions. How much water do you drink? Do you, what's your job like? Do you sit all day or do you move around? Like, all of that is going to give them the illusion of control, no matter what their question was. How much is it? Well, first of all, what are you looking for? Like, don't even answer that yet. Like, just these little things, and then going up with options. Don't ever go to anybody and go, hey, do you want to try a mini experience? Hell no. Tell me what you need. This is the highest package. The only time I go to, let me send you a 3-day mini experience in the mail, is after all other options have failed. Like, that's the last place. Well, I know you don't have the money right now, but I do have a special going on right now that for $20, I can send you 3 days. And at least you can get an idea of what it is for the future. Like, that's the last place. And I'm confident going into all of those conversations. And when I'm not, because I still today have a confidence issue once in a while, depending on who it might be. Sometimes somebody's in my inbox and I'm just intimidated by them. Maybe I knew them from my old life and they're like a lawyer or a doctor, or I don't know, some kind of a nutritionist. Like, and I get freaked out. I put them in a 3-way with somebody that doesn't know them, that's not freaked out by them, that I know is good at closing, like Stacee or Tass or somebody else. So you're never too seasoned or been doing this too long to have those freak out moments, or where you need to use other people to help you close that situation. I've been talking forever. Stacee, do you have more you want to add? I'm sorry.
I wrote down a few different things. First off, what you just said was such gold. You guys get to know your sidelines, get to know your uplines, get to know your downline, and understand where people's strengths lie, right? Like I said at the very beginning of the Zoom, there is not one person that's good at everything. If somebody is selling you that story, they're wrong. Everybody has a strength. That's why we do like color personality trainings. I think sometimes that's a cop out for some people because they're like, I'm just not a green. I can't be organized. Well, you have to work on it, right? But there are some people by nature that are super crazy organized, right? Not everybody does this, okay? Thursday to-do list, Thrive to-do list, my other business to-do list. Like, a lot of people would probably like literally drown me rather than have that in their life. But find those people that are really good with that type of thing. If you need people that have specific talents, it's up to you to find them. And you have talents that other people need. So working together is key. I have no problem. Every single time I'm talking to a potential, I literally tell them every single time, I am going to match your efforts. So when people say like, yeah, I want to become a promoter, blah, 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 but they're like half-assed and they're not responding to my messages in like a normal amount of time, but they're like fluffing me up, right? I literally tell people, you can take this as far as you want to take this. I know that you can do this. I know you can be successful, but I want you to know that I match your efforts. So if you give me 100%, I'm going to give you 100%. If you give me 10%, I'm going to give you 10%. Like, and that's something that I take very seriously. I'm not shy about saying. The other thing is, you guys, with wording and closing, and I know everybody can agree with this. We literally get asked the same 10 questions over and over and over and over and over again. I've been here 4.5 years. It's the same 10 questions over and over and over and over again, right? So if you know that those are the same 10 questions, learn the answers to those, right? Like, what are the ingredients? What's in the products? Can I take it when I'm pregnant? Like learn good responses to those questions and work with your uplines, your sidelines, your downline, whoever it is, a trusted individual. I don't care who it is. It doesn't have to be somebody that like is in your genealogy. It can be anybody, somebody that inspires you. Learn those things, right? Be hungry to learn those things. Our whole team uses text replacement and it's awesome. Somebody asks, what is the Thrive experience? I literally type #what and it's done. It's done. There's no thinking. Now I can customize that based on my conversation. But somebody says like, what is Black Label? #BL, I'm done, right? I take the thinking out of it and I make it duplicatable, right? If you guys don't know what that means, it's fine. If you're confused, whatever, you can message me. I do not care. I believe in something like that because we literally get asked the same 10 questions. Like, am I going to be jittery? Like, it's like the same things over and over. I do not believe in scripts. People come into companies from network marketing from, in the mid 2000s, and they want scripts. There's a difference between text replacements, easy answers to questions that we get asked all the time, and scripts. We are not robots, so we don't have scripts. But when people ask the same questions over and over, have an answer. It's super important. And then the last thing is temp checking, and where Lee said, like, so there are a lot of 200Ks, 80Ks, some even 40Ks probably, right? That wouldn't have the ability to do the same things. But I'll tell you guys, as your organization is smaller, small-ish, growing, medium size, all that type of thing, it is so powerful to connect with every single person and understand that their role in your team is important. You always match efforts. Don't put 20,000% into, somebody that's only giving you 1%. Don't try to drag and resuscitate the dead. It's impossible. Find new blood. But match efforts and understand that every order matters. If Susie is just working her business, getting 2 customers and thriving free every single month, she's valuable. So build that relationship with her. It is really incredibly important to do those things. For me, I just have a list every single month. And you guys, I'm not at 200K. Okay, yud. And my organization is pretty decently sized, but also I know who is actively working every single month for the most part. And I go to my leaders and I ask them who is actively working, and I take the people that are actively working, put them on a list, take the people that aren't off a list. And I take time to do that as a leader every single month. And then I try to connect with those people. When you have a small-ish team, okay, you can absolutely reach out once a week to every single person in your organization. If you have a 4K team, if you have a 12K team, you can reach out to all the active people working in your organization, say, hey, touching base, doing a temp check. Is there anything that you need more from me? How can I help? Just letting you know that I'm here. That goes a long way for retention and building trust in your own organization. And you guys, we did this whole thing on like magic, closing words, yada, yada. That is magic in your own organization. You're building the trust with people to let them know that you're there. We're not perfect leaders. I screw up all the time, you guys. I make mistakes. I make bad judgment calls. I've hurt people. I've upset people. I've pissed people off. I've said the wrong thing. I've done the wrong thing. Like, anybody that's been in this industry for like even 15 minutes, we're going to make mistakes, but we learn and we grow, right? So you do the best that you can. And if you don't have that, where I heard somebody say, like, put it in the chat earlier, like, oh, I don't know, like my upline, blah, blah, who cares? Then find somebody else. I'm not letting somebody stand in my way to go to the top of this company because whatever the excuse is, right? Find another upline, find somebody that's next in line, find a sideline, find a downline, find a complete stranger that's a thriver that inspires you and rock with it because you deserve that. It's super incredibly important. So just that's it for me.
Amen. I'm on my treadmill right now. I'm trying to multitask. So if I'm out of breath, sorry. I've been doing 5 miles a day, 5 to 7. So I'm trying to get my last couple miles in. There's got to be a part 2 of this because I feel like there's still more and there's leaders on that were given some great information. So next week, Thursday, we'll probably take this into more of a part 2 and I don't know, some other stuff. So be on. I mean, in the chat, if you feel like you learned something tonight, beneficial, give me a 1. Did you? Like, this is why people need to get on these Zooms because you cannot learn. I would have never known how to close if it wasn't for getting on calls and hearing how other people do it. I wouldn't be here today if I wouldn't have plugged in. So it's so important, especially during our busy season, to plug in so that you're never running out of ideas. Stacey, thank you so much. You guys meet us back here next week, same time, same place. If you are new, same link. So save it in your phone, set your alarm. We'll be back here next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. And the biggest thing is share it with new people. We need to be growing every week. This Zoom should be growing. You should be getting your new people on. It's awesome if you're on, but when you know you're building and growing is when you see other team members on. That's when you're like, okay, I got somebody. They're plugging in. They want this. And those are the people that you run with and work with. Thanks, Stacey. Thanks, guys. See you guys next week.
What's more than you did today?